Anywho, uh, yeah, you guys are just on your ship floating through space. You got some time. If you would like to roll for use magic, and I'll give you 2 dice to see if you can try and get some more information. And again, specifically, what you're asking is like, what is it about the event that you're trying to understand, rather than just simply, you know,
run-ins or problems that might appear along the way while we're there on the planet.
yeah, this would be more like fortune telling, where you're rolling bones, trying to understand rather than simply, you know, get more information about that dream that you had. So this would be like a completely different skill check. So.
Would I be rolling with weird or
Yes.
no?
Why?
Because my weird's at -1.
Yep.
Let's see. I got a
How
1
did
and
you
a
end up
5.
rolling down there?
You got in a 1 and a 5 -1, so a 0 and a 4.
Yes.
Okay. That is a failure and a mixed success. So go ahead and mark experience.
Well, it looks like my weird won't be -1 for long, at least.
What's the sort of action that you're doing that you do for trying to, you know, foretell the future, read visions or whatever? Do you have like a magic book? Or are you like trying to commune with this lamp that you just got? Are you praying? Like, what does this look like? What are you doing?
I'd like to commune with the lamp, actually. Let me talk to Navi.
Okay. Give me just a second. Alright, try talking again. Is he garbly for anybody else?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was me.
Let me try leaving and rejoining.
Let me try rejoining, leaves and never comes back. Alright, well, while he's gone, I'm gonna run to the bathroom. Be right back.
Okay.
Oh no, he's gone.
Man, I'm on this floor. Get up nice things.
You can't say that. You're literally a slime. You ruined everything.
I don't do shit.
You get all your icky goo everywhere.
It's not icky. It stays in me.
That sounded way worse than what I said. My goo stays in me. No one can take that away from me.
Except for one person, no. Me. I'm not even a person. I'm a fucking thing.
Why did he deafen?
He knows where. Oh, I don't know.
What's the point of deafening?
I don't know. I mean, I could also do. Don't I have a? Oh yeah, I do have a thing for when I go deaf and desolate. Is that why you've been so quiet, Mia? You're making food?
Hello,
Cheers.
owl boy. Where did you disappear off to?
Feather boy.
Why is there singing?
Probably want to go get some seeds.
Excuse
Yeah,
you?
to pick up that bird feed. Gotta grab that salmon.
Excuse you.
I was talking about you, Paimon, since you're an owl.
Oh, that's racist.
Did you forget
No
that
way.
you're an owl?
Yeah, I didn't forget I was an owl. I just didn't realize you were talking about me.
You're the one who disappeared when you went deafened.
I accidentally pressed it.
Alright, so Paimon, you did get a failure and a mixed success, so I think what that means is that as you're like trying to do whatever ritual and you're kind of trying to commune with this thing, it doesn't help. You're not getting anything from it. And I think it like it kind of starts like a small fire. Like it hurts you. So go ahead and take 1 harm. But you managed to put it out. However, you guys do still have time before you get there, so you guys can go ahead and heal up.
So I just equaled nothing.
Yeah, basically. Like, you did something that was kind of, it didn't work, and it was a little bit dangerous, but you still had time to sort of smooth everything over. So you got a net 0. Which I think is the best outcome when you get a failure.
Now this is when Navi wants to be quiet. Damn it. I am close to getting my first level though. Which probably isn't a good thing.
Nope. Anyone else want to try anything?
Don't try anything, it hurts you.
You know what? I will let you try one more time before you get to the planet. How about that?
If I do it and I get hurt, will I...
If what?
Or would there not be enough time? If I did it before, since we have like one more day, would I still be able to heal up, or would I still have to keep the damage?
We'll see.
Well, what's the worst that could happen?
Death.
I break the hull of the ship.
But yeah, any of you that suffered any harm, go ahead and heal that up. Like, yeah, I don't know if any of you took any damage during the fight, but yeah.
I did.
Alright, go ahead and heal that harm.
Alright.
You tried to grab a creature of plasma.
My own tentacle.
Yeah, I was really
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
Poggers.
Puggers. Okay.
You're never gonna get that luck again, I'm good.
So here's the thing, is that you got 2 6s, so that's 2 absolute successes. -1, so that's 2 5s, which is still a double success. So, let's see. Let's see. Use magic. You try to do something. Observe another time or place. Communicate with something. Yeah. So, okay. What specifically are you curious about? Are you trying to ask, like, what happened to the planet? Are there any unforeseen dangers on the planet? You know, did something happen? I will say that nothing necessarily happened recently because, bleh. Basically, if anything happens within like 5 days, that's sort of when A.R.C goes in and investigates. So you think that whatever happened that caused these things to die happened at least like a week ago or something.
Then I would like to ask what happened to the planet.
Hmm. I'm trying to think of how best to describe this. Because you did get 2 complete successes. I'm gonna give you two things that you can sort of ask. You can figure out when it happened. You can figure out what happened to the people. You can figure out what happened to the planet. Or you could figure out where the threat came from or what it is.
I do want to ask what happened to the planet, and I want to know what happened to the people.
Okay. Let's see. I think you again just describe what this looks like. How are you getting these visions? Are you just taking a nap again? Are you communing with something? Are you reading a book? Like, what's the normal thing that you do when you go into this sort of mode, I guess?
Normally, it would be the resting, but I want to try communing with Navi, the little man.
Okay. I'm going to say then what you get is sort of like visions in the fire, I guess. And you kind of like you look into the flame, and as you do, you kind of start to see shapes, and then they kind of like dwindle, and then you're not sure if you're getting like sunspots or if like you're kind of blanking out or if you are like kind of falling asleep or something, but you kind of come back from this moment where you're just sort of looking at the fire, and you kind of have these thoughts in your heads, these ideas. And basically what it is that it seems as though this planet was very plain. It was simplistic. It was barren. It didn't have a whole lot of life to begin with. And so for the longest time, nobody noticed when the people simply disappeared. This planet has not changed much. In fact, it has been a long time since there has been any presence interacting with this planet. Almost like a bird's eye view or like a drone video, just sort of looking over the landscape. You can see just like years and years and years of it being just untouched. And every so often, you would see slight changes or like churning in the soil of the rock being shaped, and you would see these little creatures interacting with it, almost like pill bugs, these kind of like barely even humanoid, just more insectoid or maybe rodent. You're not really sure what they are. They're just kind of distant. They're specks to you almost. And you see them like living in these cracks in this, desert planet, basically. Them just trying to survive in the shade, making their way, back and forth. You're not sure how they lived. You're not sure how they ate or drank or what they did, if they had free time or how they, entertain themselves. You don't know anything about these creatures, but you do know that as you're watching this, there was very little impact. They didn't do much, and then something crashed. Something landed, impacted, shifted the course of this planet off of its axis, changing its days and nights, and this started to confuse, complicate, terrify the inhabitants until they basically shut themselves in and never moved. And they didn't pursue any sort of activities out of fear, out of the unknown, out of not knowing what to do against this thing that they were not designed for, they were not made for. They were simply, these things that survived in the ground, and now that something came from above, they didn't know how to respond. And then something happens. Slowly but surely, one after another, they get out of their homes, they come out of these dark cracks, they make their way out onto the surface for perhaps the first time in their entire life. And they congregate as one united entity. And as that thing that crash landed simply leaves, it takes all of them with it. That's what happened to the people. What's your other question?
One of the questions was I could ask about any dangers there, right?
You can ask me any question.
All right, then, are there any dangers there that we should be worried about?
The planet never really truly lived. It didn't have any plant life. It didn't really have any animals. It never really shaped or changed or grew. It didn't have a lot of variety in its atmosphere or its ground. It basically only had these insectoid mites that sort of lived in the harsh soil. And maybe their job was to eventually terraform it into something useful, and maybe, other things would mixture in, asteroids would come in, it would get water, it would get life. It never got to that point. And when A.R.C sent their surveyors, they looked over and they saw nothing. And the chroniclers came, and there was nothing for them to chronicle. There was nothing for them to see, nothing to write about. And they simply left. But as you begin to make your way towards this planet, you understand that despite there being no life, despite there being no interactions of anything, of any kind, no alien ideals, no foreign matter, in between now and when the last living things touch this planet, something has changed. And that is cause for concern. And as you see this village that was carved out of the ground, and as it spread into this crater and try to make sense of whatever landed and try to understand this alien interaction, they never worshipped it. They never were afraid of it. They didn't really have that sort of comprehension, that understanding of, you know, greaterness or lesserness, just that it was different. Just like when ants, you know, are, you know, making their way through the ground and suddenly a rock falls in their path, or, you know, a crumb of food falls in their path. They were curious. And as they made their home in this crater and tried to investigate whatever this contact was, before they, you know, came into contact with it and then left with whatever this alien inhabitant was, they showed signs of growth. They made steps. They, you know, made pathways. They made, you know, buildings that weren't just, you know, holes in the ground. They actually made buildings in this place. There was some understanding. There was some growth there. Their species had something else to bounce off across, and they, you know, started to grow, and apparently that was enough for whatever this alien entity was to take them with it when it left. And as you see this crater of a city and its empty streets, the lack of inhabitants, you watch as it continues to change, as if there is still influence there. The cracks grow darker, the nights grow longer, and eventually the shadows grow bigger and bigger and bigger. And then you come back, and you feel this sort of strange sensation in your eyes, over your face and your body. It's not heat, you know, it's not a physical sensation of something, but you do feel as though your understanding of the cosmos has changed. And that's all I'll give you.
Man, too much dread for like a 7-year-old to handle. Man. Okay, I start going on the ship computer and playing Fortnite now.
Okay. There is not like a ship computer for you to really access, so it does not have Fortnite. There are no games on this phone.
Yeah, this ride has been boring.
We've
to
had
make our own
such a
fun.
boring ride, eating crud, not being able to have any entertainment.
I am the
We made
entertainment.
Solus. Yeah, I was about to say we had Solus and
Instead
turned
of
into like
shadow
50
puppets,
different
we
things.
have slime puppets.
Is there anything else you guys would like to do?
MIA1 said, if I throw Solace, will that do damage to him?
Depends on how hard you throw him.
Wait.
Green pie.
Freddy,
Yeah.
why are all your friends that you invite to my games female and hate you?
She doesn't hate me.
She's doing it out of love. She's
Why
already
do your
throwing
people
Type
bully
throw.
each other for fun?
I don't know. It's just the way we are.
Okay. Yeah, Mia interacts with Solus, picking him up and playing with his body, and throwing
innards.
him about the satellite that you guys are in.
Wait, what?
I don't know, like you guys play together. I don't know. You can describe how it
You go
looks
have
like.
fun in the
Roll
corner.
ball.
Well, I like to think that Mia just shapes me into a football shape and just starts throwing me towards people.
I mean, you guys are basically in a long hallway. Like, you guys are in this big cylinder that's constantly rotating, and that's what kind of gives it a bit of gravity. But you can also float through it relatively easily.
Yeah, without any scanners on this thing, the Sylph's not really going to do much. He's just going to relax for the whole time, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm taking the rest of the day to think about what I just saw.
Think about what you did.
Okay.
MIA1 said, nice, I can ball with Solace as the ball.
Balling.
All right. Eventually, you guys make your way to the planet. It is a dark and sort of like brownish color. It has sort of a hint of like bronze color to its otherwisely basically gray, tan, you know, just generic earth colors. There are no signs of life. There are no signs of water. There's no greenery. There is nothing on this planet. And this planet is relatively small too. You know, considerably smaller than like Earth or anything. You think that on foot you could probably make your way around this entire planet on foot, you know, with, you know, an adequate amount of time. If you had a vehicle, it'd be much faster. But, you know, making your way around this planet would be just as much as like trying to, you know, scale Mount Everest. You know, it would take some doing, but you could probably do it and still have time in your lifetime. It would take maybe a week or so. Yeah, this is just a very small, empty planetoid. But otherwise, if you guys have nothing else to do, the ship, the satellite that you guys are basically in, begins to float in orbit around this planet. And as long as you guys keep interacting with the ship, it will not leave without you. But if it ever goes like 3 days without you guys interacting with it, it will basically just, you know, go into autopilot and go back to our headquarters.
Years for us to die on our trips. Do we have to worry about that now, since we have some people still left on the ship?
No, and that's the next thing I was going to say, is that because there are players that are not here, they will be on the ship, basically. But in a very similar situation to how you got onto the A.R.C. Space station, a section of this satellite basically disconnects like a space elevator and just sort of drops to the ground, opens up, lets you guys come in and out, and then just floats back up to the satellite. So, yeah. You guys can make your way down onto the planet if you so choose.
All right, time for a long, boring journey.
I could only parse out that you said the word journey.
Time for the long, boring journey.
All right.
Where we do nothing.
All four of you could very easily, manageably get into this space elevator. It fits about like 3 to 4 people relatively comfortably, but because 2 of you are considerably small, this is basically nothing. The
Just place
chunk.
Solace on top of Paimon's head.
You what?
We're just one
place
full person.
Solace on top of Paimon's head.
Nice. You feel the unsettling ka-chunk as this section of the ship basically breaks off and begins free fall towards the planet. It's not until you guys, start burning through the atmosphere that you start to feel fear, as if you're not sure if this is actually going to survive. But as you get farther and farther away from the satellite, you actually do start to slow down until you reach a fairly manageable seat. The first impact is always the tester one, so you guys do get thrown. But other than the general rough ride that you just experienced, the pod doors open and you guys are able to make your way out onto the planet. The hard stone does neither scuff nor, crack under your imprint. It is completely solid and seemingly indestructible with just your very presence here. It feels like this place has always been like this and will always be after you have left. It's a very interesting feeling as you step foot onto basically this just rock in the middle of space. You struggle to breathe. It is very the air feels rather dense, actually, and it's not until you sort of make your way into these narrow canyons that connect these plateaus together. They're about like 20 feet deep and only about like 6 feet wide. And that sort of like changes roughly with the sort of natural change of the landscape. You can tell that this planet has built up several layers and layers and layers of just like completely compact dust and rock and whatever it can manage floating through space, and it's just pulled apart over the generations. Just with because this is such a small planet, its plate tectonics are very subject to change. Just sort of the compression is cracking it. However, you do feel a bit more gravity than you would on, say, Earth, but not to the point where you can't walk too uncomfortably. It does take some considerable effort, and you guys have to sit down and rest occasionally. I think Solus has trouble staying round and is mostly flat throughout this. I don't think Solus can necessarily keep their form very stable in this atmosphere.
We put him in like a water container.
Yeah. You could put him in like a jug or a beaker or something and just carry him with you.
As long as he doesn't object.
I mean, souls could also try to change their shape into something else.
you want a different shape, or do you want to be in a beer bottle?
What a
I would
choice.
change my shape.
Ah, you took the lame route.
Change shape into a beer bottle.
Well, actually, I'm gonna need to like I need a living being to change my shape into.
I mean, you have perceived living beings before. You can change your shape into those.
Oh, I'm gonna change it to the reception.
Hmm?
I'm gonna change it to the girl who did my goddamn. Oh wait, what? What was it?
They were also slime beings.
Yeah, they were slime people. They were called obs. So
See,
you
there's
change your
that.
shape from a slime into a slime. How very brilliant and astute of you. Okay. Anyways,
Dog
after
Slightly
some
bigger
travel,
slime.
making your way sort of through these, it almost feels like a narrow cavern, if not for the fact that sunlight does sort of basically shine above you, almost like a natural light in a hallway sort of does, just sort of giving you some general illumination. It's not until it gets to nighttime that you are in complete darkness, in which case you can barely see anything in front of you, unless you have some extra light with you. But it does take you just a fair bit of time to make your way to the city, as approaching the crater from its edges would be far too difficult to try and make your way in and out of. But you guys eventually make your way sort of through this section, and you can actually see there's like some handmade barriers, again just sort of like carved or maybe sliced off pieces of rock that are like as thin as like wood or like plywood, basically these like sheets of rock that again are relatively sturdy but not that heavy. It would be basically like moving sheets of plywood, perhaps a bit less wobbly. But as you sort of move through these barricades that sort of symbolize a gate or a fence system, sort of blocking one of these paths leading further into the city, you can see basically doors and windows, like carved out sections that are not just, jagged holes or anything, but are actually, congruent. There are, angles, there are shapes like triangles and rectangles and squares. Some sort of intelligence has come to this city. The other thing that you notice as you get close to the city and make your way through the general darkness is that you see everything inside of the city is covered in marks. And at first you didn't notice, almost as if along the pathways you saw like scratch marks of just like what you thought what their feet would leave behind, their mandibles or whatever. But you see bigger and deeper and darker scratch marks cover every surface. Walls, floors, ceilings, just everything inside of the city has these deep grooves cut in. Just, slashes, just straight lines deep into this rock. But as you get closer to the city and make your way into more of these buildings, you can see that these lines aren't random. They're actually in conjunction, forming together characters, words, and then, lengths of words, sentences. This is some sort of language that has been carved across and maybe you see the start of a word on the floor, and it begins to climb up the wall, and as the sentence continues, it makes its way through the window and back down onto the floor again or something. Like, it is very strange. This isn't mad scrawlings on the wall. At least that would be like just on the wall from left to right or something. You're not sure what this is. There's no beginning, there's no end. But the thing that you do notice is that it is mostly in the city. And in fact, in the sort of sheets that you saw that were kind of placed to make that fenced area, you could see some beginnings of these scratch marks. Maybe just one here or there, or perhaps at the end of a sentence, as a final word continues. It just sort of connects from like where the wall was, writing, and that person, rather than trailing off or like getting smaller because they know that they're getting closer to the end of the page, they just kept going and did it on these sheets or whatever. It's completely bizarre and alien. And again, you guys don't recognize the script, at least not off the top of your head, if somebody would like to make some sign of check of some kind.
MIA1 said, I like to roll.
Alright, what would you like to do? You have a skill? Otherwise, this would just be like a use magic. In which case, you would be rolling plus weird. Is anyone doing anything?
I was waiting to see if Mia was gonna respond. Oh, I see typing.
Yep. I mean, you guys can also be doing stuff too.
Trying to figure out what question I want to even. I guess I should. Trying to figure out what question I would even want to ask at this point.
Okay. Is that just a use magic, which is like understanding something alien, which is a 5 + 2, so 7, a overwhelming success. But I'm trying to figure out what sort of move you would like to do here. Mia, I need to know what move you're using and what you rolled plus for. If you're rolling to investigate a mystery, that would be plus sharp. If you're rolling just to use magic because you're trying to understand.
MIA1 said, Mystic.
Mystic. Okay. Let me look at your character sheet. sorry. It's so hard to read your character sheet. It's just so small. Let me see if I can. There we go. Okay. Mystic. Mystic. Every time you successfully use magic, take +1 forward. That's not a move. That's an effect. Just like Helping Hand. When you successfully help out, you get +2 instead of +1. But I will assume that you are trying to use magic. In that sense, I assume that you are rolling plus weird, which you have 2. I'm trying to think of, because you're using magic, I think would be like trying to read the script, in which case I think you kind of this would actually turn this from a 7 into an 8. You haven't seen something like this before, but you can sort of understand the concept of the script. I think I want to give you 3 questions that you can ask about the script. And if someone else wants to roll some other stuff, they may. I would say that a better move would probably be either investigate a mystery, or I think investigate a mystery, which would be a better move, in which case that would be rolling plus sharp.
Not +1. I was looking at the wrong number. So just a 5.
Hold on a second. I misunderstood Mia's thing. It's that she gets +1 forward, which means that in any skill check that she does for trying to understand or utilize, or anything to do with this script, she has +1 forward. So any skill check after successfully doing this, she gets a +1 towards. So that's what +1 forward means. Usually when you succeed on a check or something, you get +1 forward, which is you get +1 from now on. There's +1 pass, which it's not pass, but you basically pass it to the next person. Gets a +1 on their roll, which might be you, might be somebody else. And then there's hold, which means that you basically have a bank of points to spend on a roll whenever you call it, and you're like, I want to spend my hold here, and then you can take either just your 1 point, or if you've accumulated more, you can spend all of those hold on that check that you want. And again, you also don't have to spend them all at once as well. But yes, Mia, I will give you 3 questions about the script, and any additional checks that you make about the script, you will have +1 for. So just keep that in mind. I will also try to keep that in mind. Sorry, yes. Silva, you rolled a 5 + 1 for 6. What are you rolling?
I didn't mean to do +1. So it's only a 5. I was trying to do investigate a mystery.
Okay. That is a success. So you get to ask 1 question.
Basically want to try, because it seems like I'm trying to figure out in what order. I'm not trying to read this because I know I'm not going to be able to. I'm just trying to see if I can figure out where they were going. Like,
This is
I'm
very
trying to use
good.
this to track them.
I will give you this. It seems as though the biggest collection of this script seems to be centered in the middle of town, basically being the middle of the crater. And so, like, as it goes farther out of this radius, the script lessens and lessens, but it is mostly compact at this center, to a point where the script is writing over itself more and more, to the point where it's almost unreadable.
Gotcha.
I will also give you that the way that this script is made is that it doesn't seem like it's simply scratched. It seems as though it's like, it is intentionally carved, but it looks so deep that it wasn't just like a claw or like a blade, you know, doing a tally or whatever. This looks almost deeper than that. You're not really sure how far deep, unless you want to try and investigate that. And again, this
Hello?
each of these, yeah, sorry, I just lost my words for a second. You can still hear me, right? Hello?
Hello?
Silver, are you
Hello?
still there?
Am I back?
Yeah. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Okay. The script is comprised of these lines that are about
Oh, you
5
gotta be
inches
kidding
long.
me.
What?
Right as you started to get back into saying what you were gonna say, it cut out again.
Oh no. You can still hear me though, right?
Yeah, it's like coming and going every now and then.
Okay. The scratch marks are comprised, like, the script is comprised of scratch marks that are about 6 inches long each. And so sometimes you get like a triangle, sometimes you get a triangle with a line, so it looks like a P, basically. If you think of like caveman script, that's sort of what it looks like. But each of these individual scratches are 6 inches long, and you're not sure how deep they are. So you're not sure
Okay.
how they were made. But I will say that the majority of them are towards the center of this crater, of this town, and then have spread outwards from there. And I will also say that it kind of seems like these words or sentences that are being written almost trail off, like they're not finished as you get to like sections farther out of town, where it looks like they were still being written and then just sort of stopped in the middle of like a character.
I ain't smart enough to do a deciphering of a completely new language.
Mia, you have 3 questions if you would like to ask. And you're gonna ask something like, how old are these? You know, what was used to make them? What are some of the symbols represent? If you want to try and...
MIA1 said, so my question about the text, they're repeating symbols.
There are symbols that repeat, yes. There are like characters, and I will give you this information for free. It basically does look like there is an alphabet, and there is like words and sentences being written. There are phrases here. And I will also give this to you all for free, is that it looks like some of these sentences are repeated. So it does look like, I mean, there is enough information here for you guys to, you know, if you had someone that was experienced with, you know, deciphering languages or like understood, languages and stuff, they would be able to decipher the alphabet and make sense of these words and sentences. But yeah, asking if there's repeating sentences, that's just a free question.
MIA1 said, "My next question is, are any tools nearby that were used to make the text?"
You guys explore the city, and there are no signs of tools. There is no sign of equipment. There is no sign of any sort of inhabitation at all. There's no dishes, there's no pots, there's no nothing. You're not sure how these people lived, if they were even people, But as you do notice, there are, as you get into the city from past some of the other, it basically looked like an ant home. Have you guys ever seen one of those? Like, have you ever had one of those when you were young or something, like an ant home? You know what I'm talking about?
I've seen them, but I never had them.
Okay. It basically looks like that, just sort of in the whole of this planet. But as you get into the city, you can see them like carving out of these, plateaus, these like pillars of rock around them. They started to carve doorways and homes, and there was steps, there was, benches, there was basically, stone beds for them to lie down on. There was a sign of increased intelligence from just basically animalistic to, some sort of semblance of community and humanity. Whatever sort of alien, interference happened with this crater caused them to basically grow in intelligence. I will also give you that question for free. There was no tools. There are no tools. Actually, I will take up one of your questions and say that it does not appear as though any tools were used. The fact that all of these scratches that make up these lines for these characters are so uniform, it doesn't look like there's any possible way that it could be like something that they chiseled. They didn't use like, hammers and chisels. They didn't use talons. There would be imperfections. All of these lines are perfectly straight. That you would take any sort of line, and if you like took a picture and overlapped them, they would be completely identical. You still have 2 questions about the text.
MIA1 said, "Is there any DNA that possibly to get off this text?"
I'm gonna say if you guys want to try and find any traces of these creatures left behind, you'll have to make a sort of separate roll. I think what you're doing is more investigating the script as itself. I'll say if you guys want to try and find, residue of any bodily functions or, blood, sweat, tears, any of that, I think you need to do a different sort of skill check for that.
What?
I mean, you guys have your skills, but you could, if all else fails, usually act under pressure is usually a thing for like trying to do stuff. But if you just want to roll general like +1 type of skill, tell me what you're doing, and then we'll see sort of like whatever stat you're using. And no, I won't let you charm rocks, so don't do that kind of stuff. But like, maybe rolling +sharp to sort of take a look and try and like understand them, or if you're actually like physically trying to maybe like scratch or scrub away, maybe like roll +tough. Or if you're using some sort of divination, maybe you roll +weird. That type of thing. Like, you tell me what you want to do, and then we'll figure out what you need to roll. Because you aren't just limited to these 5 basic moves and the things on your character sheet. Like, we'll figure out what you need to do for whatever. I need you guys to actively, basically roleplay and act out what you are doing in this space and what you are trying to do and figure out. But also, I will just give you straight up information.
I think I'm just gonna roll. Words.
I mean, you kind of do have to sort of walk over this stuff as it is, like, on the ground and everything.
Yeah.
Do you want to, like...
MIA1 said, my question to replace that is, how far does this text go?
It is mostly in just this city. You can see that it is like going up the walls and going out onto the plateau above, but also, through the various cracks and crevices of the like kind of narrow canyons. I'm not sure if that's like the proper word. Yeah, Solus, do you want to like take a rubbing or something, or like push yourself into it and then like turn yourself into a stamp?
Sure.
Okay.
That's fun.
I will say that if you spend like the day doing that, you guys could basically get like several samples. You could just like chip off like chunks of the wall and take that back to the ship with you. Like I will let you guys just try stuff. But also, if I think the idea of like turning yourself into a stamp and then like copying and pasting some of this stuff onto like some paper or something is a fairly feasible thing to do. And if you want to spend the day doing that, which is, just several hours, you could get like all of the different sentences. You're pretty confident that you've got like at least one copy of every sentence by the end of the day.
Okay.
Again, you will actually go ahead and roll +sharp just to sort of like look around and see if you can find like a sample of everything.
I got nothing in sharp, so it's just a 1d6, and that's a 6.
All right, that is a complete success. You do get a sample of every piece of text. A lot of it is overlapped with each other, but I think with like a combination of like taking sections from here and there and whatnot, you never get like a perfect, clean sample of like a full sentence, but you do manage to get, just like taking pieces from various sentences, get clean, pristine samples of each sentence. And you do find that some sentences are just like so long and long and long that you're pretty confident they're actual like paragraphs, because they never like, you know, stack up or anything. They just continue to go in lines. But you don't see any like repeating characters, and they are still in the same line basically. Even though they like go up walls and around corners, they still continue to go in these, you know, random lines.
Okay.
I'll still give you 2 questions, Mia. Just because you've kind of been asking some very basic, generic questions that I think are relatively easy for you guys to determine just from looking and observing. Is anyone else doing anything?
Kind of letting Mia have time to type out. I don't want to accidentally do too much, since I know being relegated to text can kind of slow you down a lot.
Okay.
MIA1 said, was there any rush when the text was written?
I don't think you can determine that. Actually, I will let you spend one of your questions on this. It does not look as though there was any emotion behind this text. It looks as though it was completely uniform, perfect. It is written randomly. You know, it goes in these straight lines, but it goes up walls and down walls and, you know, through things. But there is like some order to this. They're like straight lines. They just, you know, whenever they hit a corner, they continue on to the new surface. But you don't get any sense of, you know, anger, fear, malice, you know, excitement. There's no emotion in this text. I will also say that in that you don't notice any sort of like extra debris. You know, if someone were to scrape away at the surface, you know, you would see some sort of dust around the edges or whatnot. You know, if someone did a bunch of text on this wall, you would see, you know, clusters or like piles and piles of like rubble, you know, on the floor, but there isn't. It's completely pristine. So where did this material go if it was removed? You have one final question. Also, filling in the space while someone's typing isn't a bad thing, I think. If anybody has just anything that they want to say, even in roleplay, or just general asking me questions, I think that's fine.
So how's your day today? How's your day?
No. Not those kinds of questions.
I think Rex is going to start making his way towards the center, since that seems where like the majority of like the text seems to be like.
Okay. Yeah, you make your way
heavier.
towards the basically center of this crater, the center of this town. And again, these buildings are carved out of the randomness of the rock. So there isn't like a semblance of, uniformity of the buildings. The pathways aren't, carved in a way that, you would get an idea of like, oh, this person lives on this street or whatever. Like, they never got to that level of intelligence. However, as you get to the center of town, you find perhaps one of the biggest structures. A section of rock that actually looks as though pieces were built, pieces were placed. This is a large building. It was built, not just carved away. Which leads you to believe that this was a place of importance. This was a place of acknowledgement. These creatures that lived here recognized this as a place of importance and worked together in unison to construct this place. Perhaps it was a town hall, a place of worship. You don't know. It's just sort of a big building.
MIA1 said, "Is there any possibility that this text can contain what happened here and why it's a ghost town?"
This is a perfect kind of question to ask when you're using magic, because there's absolutely no way that you would be able to tell this information normally just from looking at stuff. And that's the reason why I'm going to answer this question. However, is there any possibility this text can contain what happened here and why it's a ghost town? You have no way of knowing what this text says. You have no way of knowing why it was written, what its purpose was, what it says, how it was made, why it was placed here. There's no understanding for this text other than it is, understandably, text. It is characters. It is language. It was written here. And that in and of itself is a mystery. I'm going to answer this question because it's intriguing to me. It's challenging me in a way. I want to give a good answer to it. You don't know when this text was made. You assume that it was made by intelligent design, and yet there are no signs of the inhabitants. You assume they made it before they left. That's the only rational thing to realize. However, you don't know if this was even made by the inhabitants. It seems as though there was some sort of alien influence with this town, as, they basically congregated to whatever crash landed here and caused the earth to form this crater. You don't know how long that, alien influence was here. You don't know how long they partook in communion with whatever this alien influence was, whether it be, an artifact, an entity, perhaps, both. Maybe an entity that died, that they, learned from and then worshipped, or you don't know. What you can tell is that this text, though it has no emotion, is present. It is firm. It is, powerfw. Whatever wrote this had intention. And there is something being said here. Whether or not its story is related to this town, you don't know. Perhaps this is just, scramblings of, an alien species going mad. Maybe this is, sections from a random storybook that these people, took as gospel. you're not sure, and you don't know. You don't think that this text was made at like one point in time. You think that this is a conglomeration of something that has expanded over time. It's not like they all decided, okay, let's write a bunch of text today. You know, this feels like, you know, it's like graffiti almost. You know, it starts with just one thing, and then someone, you know, adds another thing, and then, you know, maybe someone adds something that's a little bit too big and, you know, passes over something that was already there. Like, it's almost beautiful in the way that it expands and, you know, has a cacophony towards its center. The, you know, apex at the center of this town, where this big building is, you can actually see that there is more of this building that has been carved away than there is actual, like, you know, stone. There's more, you know, dark grooves than there are, you know, rest of the wall. Almost to the point where the walls are so thin that it looks like it might just crumble and collapse. Another point of interest. Wherever these marks are, these characters that are carved out of lines, no matter what angle you look at them from, they look dark. As if they, like, continue very deeply. And none of you have thought to, like, try and stick anything into the deepness of these grooves. So you don't know how deep they are. But you assume that they can't be that deep, considering that you've seen them on the walls and ceilings and whatnot, and they clearly don't go all the way through. But now that you look at, you know, this building, and with the cacophonous amount of scrawlings over it, you wonder even more about how these symbols were made. Whatever tool or, you know, force, you know, or magic, or you don't know. You don't know how they were applied, but the sheer number of them has caused these, you know, walls and ceilings to come to a point where they look like they couldn't be written on anymore, and yet they are. And it's completely unlegible at this point. It just looks like there's random, you know, scrawling. It's like when you take a pen to paper and just scribble furiously until there's just blackness. What else would you guys like to do?
I think I want to search this building.
All right.
Doing it in the way of investigating a mystery, because I have a specific question that I hope I get it.
All right. Go for it.
I rolled a 1.
All right. Go ahead and mark experience. As you step into this building and begin to, you know, look over it, you unconsciously sort of place your hand against the wall as if to sort of, you know, out of reverence, or perhaps just leaning against it, or, you know, getting sense of your bearings as you're looking around. You suddenly pull your hand away and realize that you scratched your hand against the wall. Go ahead and take 1 harm. Oh, do you have armor?
I don't think I even have that as an option.
Okay.
No, I do not.
All right. Yeah. just like if you had armor, you would have like negated the damage that you would have taken by the number of your armor.
Yeah.
So like if you have 2 armor, you have to take at least 3 damage before you take 1 armor, you know. If that makes sense. That's how armor works in this game. It's straight up damage mitigation.
That's why my mundane was always getting hurt so bad, because I didn't have armor.
Well, the mundane's not meant to be fighting things.
I know. We just were in a very bad situation.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, you just kind of got like a gash on your hand. It just hurts. But you can like put a bandage over it to, you know, wrap it up so you're not bleeding everywhere.
Yeah, I just wrap it up for now and do like minor first aid, and then I'll handle it later.
Okay. I'll also say that it doesn't look like the alien writing like soaks in the blood or like draws it into the darkness. You know, it's just like if you left some blood on the wall, it's there.
Huh.
How tall is the building? How tall is the building?
I think you're actually at the center of the crater, so I would say that the natural walls of the just like the ground, like from the top of the plateau to where you stand, I think is about like 40-ish feet. So I think the building would probably be close to like 20. Like they carved up enough to make it like relatively large inside, but they didn't, you know, go all the way up to the surface. Most of these buildings were probably about like 10, maybe 15 feet tall, some of the tallest ones, but this one was definitely designed to be big. I think the interior is probably about like roughly 30 by 20, and then 20 feet tall. So, and it does look like there are basically benches that have been carved out of the ground. Basically, like they're not like blocks that can be moved. It's just like ridges that, when they cleared away the rock and whatnot, that they just, you know, left behind these sort of like benches, several pews basically leading up to the back end of this building, where there is sort of like a raised sort of platform about the same height as the benches, just about like a foot or two off the ground, and then some sort of like dais on top of that platform at the very back, where you can actually see that there is something. It looks completely dark, despite everything in here being like covered in, you know, these dark scratch marks to the point where you can't even like make out, you know, any sort of that bright sort of bronze or clay color. It just all sort of looks dark in here. There seems to be a carving, a statue of some kind placed on the dais at the back of this building, this big building. And it looks almost obsidian, and it's sort of like black and glossiness. Definitely did not come from this planet, I will give you that. You can't really make out any other details about it from here. Silva, do you say anything to your compatriots as you have discovered this building?
Like if I can see them, I'll wave them over, but like I'm not gonna yell out to them.
Why not? There's nobody on this planet.
He's not gonna bother going over and saying, "Hey, I found this."
Like our characters have done nothing to try to bond.
I helped
as
you.
it were.
What do you mean? I helped you. I was helpful.
I mean, he I guess he would go find Solace since that guy is a slime and can probably wiggle through cracks and stuff. Because right now, Silva thinks that there's some sort of like his treasure senses are tingling, and he's wondering, like he's thinking something's hidden in this building, and so he kind of wants to confirm that without as many people knowing as he can. But he'll go look for Solace.
Go. Solace, do you know where Solace is?
Do I know where I am?
Yes.
Yeah, you're in my beer bottle.
I am not in your beer bottle. Wasn't I at the...
I mean, you're around. You're all in the city. You could easily find each other. Like, this isn't a challenge. I'm just saying, like, who do you involve yourselves with as you're doing these activities?
Just call me. I'll pop out of a crack.
Hey, squishy fella.
Yes?
Wait.
Follow me this way.
I have an important distinction. Solace, have you actually been going into these crevices?
Absolutely.
Oh, I saw.
Okay. Solace, I need you to roll me plus tough, please.
Oh, if my memory serves me correctly, plus tough.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
And don't worry, if you
MIA1
fail,
said,
you just get to
"Oh,
mark
no."
experience.
Look, he's the sacrificial lamb to learn
I got an 8.
for us to learn.
Dang it.
Oh man.
Alright.
Man.
Why was everyone disappointed? That's crazy.
Alright.
As we almost got free knowledge.
Solace.
Go back in another crack.
As you run over these carvings on the floor, the wall, or the ceiling, I assume you just, you can roll across any surface. They are kind of like annoying to make your way across because, you're kind of losing yourself, especially in the areas where there's lots of writing. So I assume that most of what you're copying and pasting that you're doing is near the edges of the city to get some of these cleaner sentences. Occasionally having to, follow to the ends of these lines to get the best ones that you can. But if you ever decide to investigate, perhaps, on a wall or a ceiling or floor, actually, you tell me which type of carving would you like try to slip into to see how deep it is? What was that? Did you
Sorry, I
sneeze?
sneezed.
Okay.
Bless you.
Well, Silva's calling me.
No, this is before that, because you said that before you went up to him, you were in a crack. So we need to figure out what happens before that.
Oh, then I just try to find the
mother's back.
I try to find the Lord. Oh, jeez, I think I was just poor.
All the cracks are
English.
uniform. Again, they're like 6 inches long. Just like some of them in conjunction make triangles or squares or things. Different shapes.
I think I was just traveling through a very thick crack.
Okay, there isn't like a particular thick crack, but I think out of curiosity, maybe unconsciously, what you do is you push a little bit deeper into one of these cracks. Just because you want to see how deep it goes. It surely can't be that deep. And as you start to, you know, squeeze yourself, which isn't that strenuous, it's a relatively, small crack, but you can push yourself in there and you start to, slide into one of these cracks that's, only about 6 inches in length. You don't know how deep it is. And now you're about like half of your body has been pushed into one of these cracks. And you continue to push through, and you get to the point where you're about to completely, lose your entire body trying to squeeze into this crack, and you still haven't found the bottom. And that's when you panic, and you quickly just scurry back out, and you just climb back out.
Okay.
And I think because you got a 6 + 2 for an 8, what I will say is that if you try to investigate this again on like a wall of like one of these buildings that's only maybe about a foot thick, you again push yourself into it, and you should have at least gone through the other side, because when you squeeze down, I assume your body, in and of itself is like a foot in diameter, right? So like flattened down, you would definitely be longer than a foot. You should have been able to, reach the other side. But as you squeeze into one of these cracks, it seems like it keeps going forever. Anywho, that's weird. Silva is calling you, and he's found a big building. Who else also sees this big building and wants to investigate with the party?
I want to investigate the outside of it first.
Okay.
Fly around it, check to see if there's anything.
Wait, can you fly?
We talked about this. We said I could
Even
fly.
now.
I don't remember.
I am now. You're the one who brought the idea of me flying.
I wasn't sure if your wings were present enough for you to like do it for long periods of time. Like, I'm fine with you flying. I just wasn't sure if that was something that you wanted to state for your character.
How about this?
I
Since
don't care.
am-
No, it was less about like your ability to do so and more about your character, because I thought you were trying to be a bit more, regal, I guess. Or are you just this childlike wonder of just like climbing a tree and just like, woo, I'm gonna go do this thing, running around. I wasn't sure if it was something that came natural to you, is what I was trying to say.
Oh, that does make sense.
I don't. To me, it kind of seems like you're a little bit of a quiet, not necessarily like frightened child, but it seemed like you would be a bit more reserved to just be flying freely. I don't know. Maybe you're scared of the thing, so you don't want to touch the weird alien language, because you're flying around everywhere.
Not fair. That does make sense. I mean, let's be honest. So you're not gonna be so happy-go-lucky when you can see what's gonna happen.
Yeah. No, like, you guys are free to make whatever character decisions you want. Like, you get to decide what your story is, where you came from. Like, the options are unlimited. You are more than free to make that up. I want to know these characters, and I want to know who you are and what you're doing.
Yeah, I'll just join them then. Because I do want to go the reserved route.
Okay.
I wasn't sure.
But I mean, yeah, you can still fly. I just wasn't sure if you'd be like, I'm flying everywhere, because whatever. Okay. I guess I made too much out of the question. I apologize.
Not good.
You are observing the exterior of the building, flying or walking or whatever.
So, Solus, are you there? Solus,
Pretty.
that's Fredward.
I'm alive.
So I kind of like give you the like as we're headed back to that building. All right. So my slimy little friend, there. I know. I assume you've noticed all the structures in this crater. Found one that is different than the rest. It seems like it was more purposeful than. It seems like it had a more structured reasoning and make behind it. I think that there's a chance that there might be something hidden within its walls. Well, not literally within the walls, maybe, but I'm talking about just like inside the building itself. Was wondering if you could help me take a look.
Yeah.
You could probably get into some things that I can't.
Okay.
So you make your way into the building.
So positively.
Okay.
And then I want to do the help out.
Okay.
Well, actually, yeah, if he is going to do the thingy.
How
I'll do
about
help
you?
out.
How about you roll to help out? Start with that,
It
and
is
then
plus cool.
if you succeed, then you give them an additional dice for whatever skill check they want to do.
Or
Okay, so that is a mixed success. That means that you can assist them, but something happens. And we'll see what that is depending upon what Solus tends to do. Solus, what are you doing?
He wants me to go inside the building, correct?
Yep. It's got, big doorway. Probably one of the biggest. It's about like 10-foot square. Sort of like two doorways, just sort of open. No doors.
That was gonna be something I asked you if there was any doorways or if there were anything.
Yes.
If doorways was blocked. Okay.
There are also windows that are about 4 feet square.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go ahead and enter through the big doorway.
Okay. You set off the tripwire and it explodes. I'm just kidding. You roll into this building, and again, you are having difficulty making your way across this floor, just as you would across the walls or ceilings, because there is just so many scratch marks that it's almost as if every surface in here is pocked. Like there's actual potholes and divots where sections of the floor have just been completely eroded away with like how much, of this, these scratches have been done. It's not that it's necessarily treacherous. If someone were to faceplant, it would be like landing on Legos. It'd hurt, but it wouldn't necessarily deal any damage to you. But I'm just saying that for you, in your instance, it's kind of like it's a bit tricky. Because again, you don't want to end up falling into one of these crevices.
Right.
All right, what you doing?
I'm gonna yell at those damn kids that are screaming outside.
What?
There's a bunch of kids screaming out my window.
Oh, I thought you were speaking in character.
No.
Yeah, he's talking about
Talking about
Paimon.
like, yeah, I was like, what do you mean? We just talked about me being reserved.
Those
He's
these.
still reserved.
I'm gonna yell at those damn kids.
Damn,
Paimon
blame
tries
me, I
to
should
fly
tell
through one of the
for you.
windows, bonks their head, and falls to the ground. Ah! Souls is like, damn kids.
These damn kids.
Meanwhile, being younger than Paimon.
Oh, can I investigate the place?
Yeah. If you want to investigate a mystery, you may do so with an additional dice, because Silva is assisting you.
Okay, so 2d6. 2 5s.
Okay. That is 2 successes, which means that you get to ask me 2 questions.
Okay. Is there anything that pops out or is showing up that is out of the ordinary?
Just a reminder to generally describe this building. It is 20 feet tall, it is 20 feet wide, and it is about 30 feet long. So as you enter, there are like pews to your left and right. There is a dais in the back. Every surface in here has been completely carved away to a point where none of the, text is legible at all. It's just sort of this pockmark, dark, scratchy, craggly, like melted away surfaces. And on the dais in the back, that is again crumbling and barely standing, is an obsidian statue.
Ooh.
And the obsidian statue is like something that you could hold in your hand. It's like a 1.5 feet tall by like 4 inches wide.
Okay. Interesting. Obsidian.
Mm-hmm. That's like the general description of the place. What was your question again? Like,
Pretty
is
much
there anything that
anything
stands out? Okay.
Yes.
I will give you that information for free, because I did already give it before you asked the question. So that was just a reminder. You still have your 2 questions, don't worry.
Okay.
If you ask something like, is there anything in this building? I'll be like, yes, the statue, and then take away your question. So like, don't be dumb.
Even better than that, is there anything in this building? Yes, you.
I'm not gonna be like one of those evil genies that like takes your questions away. Like, how many questions can I ask again? 2, now 1.
What? That was your last one.
Oh, like that scene from the D&D movie.
Alright, so... No, I doubt that this place has any traps.
Well, never know.
Don't
It's like
say
in the
that. No,
know.
I'm scared.
I mean, one of the questions that you can specifically ask is, are there any dangers we haven't seen yet?
Are there any dangers that we haven't seen yet?
Yes.
Oh.
No, it's not just like a yes or no question. You get the idea that this place was probably a place of gathering, perhaps communion or even worship. And the fact that that thing is at the focal point means something. Also, the fact that this basically place of worship is like the center point for this corruption, this like alien language that is, spread across the city, is also significant. You understand that this building is also weak and crumbling and possibly ready to collapse. I'm not going to say that Indiana Jones, if you press the pressure plate, it's all going to fall down. But just be careful as you're making your way through here.
Okay. Oh, fuck.
Also, I'm going to say that sort of for, wait, who is assisting Solus? That was Silver, right?
Me.
Yeah. So for your mixed success, I'm going to say that you are going to have to be in this chamber with Solus for whatever sort of actions that you're doing if you are going to be assisting them. And I think for your mixed success on assisting him looking for dangers, I think you do kind of like step on a particular spot on the floor that kind of like crunches under your weight. Like there's enough of these scratches that have carved away, kind of like these points in the rock that you kind of just, as you step over them, you crunch them down, and that leads you to believe that this building is not just like, it's not indestructible. I'll just put it that way to you. Again, it's just a mixed success, which is a success, but something. So.
Be careful what you touch in here, slimy man.
Watch where you step, meatbag.
I'm sorry. I couldn't think of anything. I'm light. Thank you very much.
All right, you still have one more question. Would you like me to read you the list?
Sure.
What's my best way in? What's my best way out? Are there any dangers we haven't noticed? What's the biggest threat? What's most vulnerable to me? And what's the best way to protect the victims?
Victims?
It's just like if there are anybody in danger, basically.
Oh.
You could also hold this question if you would like, which means
Yes,
that you
please.
will. Okay. And basically that means that at any point in time you can spend a +1 on any sort of check that you do while you were inside of this building.
Okay.
That's what hold means.
Gotcha.
Basically, whenever you roll to investigate a mystery, you see how many hold that you get, but you can exchange holds to ask a question.
Alright, okay.
Okay.
we-
So what would you like to do?
Are we able to tell what the shape of that obsidian is supposed to
Unfortunately,
what it might
at
be?
this distance, and because you're in such a large room, not enough light gets in here that you can really make out a whole lot of this chamber. And again, you can kind of see like an obsidian thing at the back of the room, but it is still black. it is glossy, so it's catching the light different than the ground and the walls and whatnot. So you can tell that it is something different, but that's about it, unless you have some sort of light source or you get closer to it.
I would love to get closer to it.
Yeah, I don't think you guys have like dark vision. Again, I don't really want to get into like, oh, I probably have dark vision or whatever. Just like, if you want to roll plus sharp to take a look, you could. But also Solus just wants to roll over there and take a look. If Solus and Silva, if Solus and Silva separate, they cannot assist each other. So,
Okay.
just if Silva wants to stay in the middle and Solus wants to go investigate, you sludge slime your way over there.
I'm also going to go in because I'm interested in this statue thing.
Okay. Are you bouncing, Solus? Like, how do you progress over there?
Like how any typical slime moves, I bounce.
Do you actually bounce?
I can carry you, you know?
Most slimes just sort of slug their way around. Solus?
There's a window, and I'm just watching all of this happen, wondering what y'all are doing.
I was looking for a GIF.
Gotcha.
Are there windows around the building?
Yes, there are
Yes.
windows. There's like small 4-foot square windows, which leads you to believe that they probably were smaller, but because with some of the corruption that's happened, they've managed to grow bigger, basically. I need you guys to tell me what you're doing. I hate to sort of sit here in silence and wait for you guys to say something, but I kind of need you guys to take control of the...
Me and
Solus,
Silva
are
are
you
just
gonna-
walking up to this.
Yeah, are you going to bounce or do you want me to carry you in?
I'm gonna bounce. I don't need your assistance. Not yet though.
Okay.
If things get dire, then yeah, I'm gonna need you to carry me. Run out of the building.
You just sort of squish and squash your way over there. Also, Mia, if you want to be a part of this situation, you can. Like, I'm not going to exclude you. You make your way up to the idol, and you can tell that it is sort of a tall humanoid figure.
Is it just sitting on a altar or a table or something?
Yeah, it's just sort of like up on this dais, and it looks like it's, you know, shaped or carved or something out of a sort of obsidian material.
By the way, what is a dais?
A dais is kind of like a raised section that's not like a table. What's the it's not like a pulpit. I mean, typically a dais is like the raised section under a throne or something. But,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Like, how high up is that going?
It's just a couple feet. Like, you can step up onto it. Like, this thing isn't sitting on a pedestal. It's just sort of on the floor, but, you know, again, a raised section.
So what you thinking, Mr. Slime? Not much.
Do we take it?
Uh, if this actually is what, usually when there's weird stuff going on, if you just grab something that looks important, might not be the best idea to just grab it without a plan. I do want to take it though. I agree with you there. I wanted to figure this out without involving everybody, but we probably need to call the others this way. See if they can have any idea what this thing is.
About how big or small is this thing again?
It's about like a foot and a half tall.
Bionicle.
That is not bionicle.
I know, but that's the only thing that popped in my head when I saw that. What is that?
I will let you know it is a Lego. But this was
That's
before
Lego?
Bionicle. Yes.
Huh.
Technically speaking, this thing in particular is a McDonald's toy, but it is still Lego.
Oh my god.
Some of the first Lego sets I ever had were from McDonald's.
I never played much with Legos unless I had a friend that had a lot of them, and that was about it.
Like as much as it could. Too much work.
I'ma touch it.
Oh boy.
A small tentacle comes out of my body as I just gently tap it.
But yeah, you guys didn't see the Lego sets that you could get from McDonald's?
I vaguely remember them existing. I do not have a great memory of my past.
Did my mic just die?
No, I
I'm
heard
still here.
you.
Okay. I don't know if you heard what I said earlier.
Yeah, you reach out and touch it.
Okay.
Yeah. You get like a Ronald McDonald's helicopter or like a Grimace car. Yeah, those are my first sets. That was when like the special pieces were just that propeller. Otherwise it was just bricks and slates. Anywho.
You feel anything weird when you touch that slime?
No?
Roll a deception. I'm just kidding.
I got possessed, and I'm lying.
You're possessed.
I'm possessed.
No, it feels weird. It's like a texture that you've never really felt before.
I'ma grab it.
Alright, yeah. Do you like lift it with your tentacle like above your head, or do you like slurp it into your body?
I'm so it into my body.
Alright. Yeah, there's just now like a little kind of like I guess not little, it's kind of big. I think it does push the boundaries of your body a little bit, but it also displaces some of your body a little bit too, so. But yeah, you are basically an airbag for this statue now.
Well, nothing weird yet.
Well, you want to get the hell out of here?
Hello?
Hello?
Goodbye.
leave?
Hello.
Can he not hear us? We could hear him, which is the weird part.
Hello?
Hello?
He had an orange exclamation point. Fuck!
I think
Exclamation
I'm
point.
back. I
Welcome
don't know
back.
what's going on.
Yeah, weird
You're the
internet
one that
issues
touched-
today.
You're the one that touched the statue, not me. Why is it? Okay, did y'all hear what I asked?
I curse you with
No.
spotty Wi-Fi.
Why?
I don't
You-
think we can.
You have a cool statue.
Did y'all hear what I said?
What did
No.
you say?
I just said, so nothing weird's happening yet.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, we heard that.
hmm
I
Okay.
responded with,
And then
wanna
you
get the
said
hell out of
hello
here?
and then immediately disconnected. Huh.
Solus
Seems like
Solus
there's
point of
nothing
view.
weird going. Hello? Anyone here? Hello?
Solus'
I'm like
point of view.
teleporting through
He
time.
was saying that disappears.
What the fuck?
You're teleporting through time. Maybe that isn't the source.
Hey, but we got a cool statue out of it.
It's at this point that as you are in this room, it suddenly starts to get dark. And this is a natural phenomenon that happens on this planet, but night comes quickly and encapsulates the entire sky. You guys are just now in complete darkness now.
Blind,
I
maybe
got
you
a
got a
bad
light
feeling
source.
about this.
The
Blind,
statue
do you have
begins
a-
to glow. I'm just kidding. Paimon has a glowing lantern.
All right, he does.
Yeah, since
Glad you didn't have somebody come in. No. Kind of sucks.
Yeah, there's just a ghostly light flickering outside the windows, just like bobbing up and down.
Slime, we should probably stay put and just try to call out to them. Hope one of them has some sort of light. We don't need you falling through the cracks.
Alrighty.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
That's Mr. Owlboy to you.
I mean, did our characters ever introduce themselves to each other?
I
don't think we
assume you
have.
guys did on the ride over here.
Yeah, we did on the ship.
Oh, we did.
Not the one we got, but the before.
Yeah, there was like a
Okay.
thing where you guys did a lineup of like, let me see your paperwork. So you guys know each other's
Oh, yeah.
names.
Exactly.
Whether or not you chose to remember is a different thing. So
I'm still trying to decide that about, so honest. Yeah, I call out, "Oh boy!"
He does have a name, you know.
You can say it.
Paimon!
you guys are so
Like hit a window.
MIA1 said, OWW my ears.
I'm sorry. Damn.
That's why you gotta do the fake. You gotta do the fake yell, Freddy. Get further away from the mic. Don't just like,
I would just loved if someone was like, alright guys, I'm gonna call for help. Yo, bitch, get over here.
Yeah, let me just call for help.
Paimon, get your bird ass over here.
Because that, like, when you raise your voice, it gets deeper because you're using your whole body to do it.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna do that for now.
oh
I
my
would
lord.
like to say, since I'm a bird and I hear the screaming, I fly towards a window. Is there glass on the window?
I hope so.
If there is, I'm just hitting that and falling down.
No, there is not. There is not glass.
We only got rock here.
There is, however, an electrical energy that pulses in all the doorways and windows now that the statue has been removed. No, I'm just kidding.
We have activated the boss fight.
No, the window's open.
Oh. Oh, so sorry, honey. I didn't mean to ear
I'm
rape
small
you.
enough. I should be able to fit inside.
Yeah, you can fit through one of those windows.
Alright, I start making my way down then with my light.
All right, yeah.
Howdy.
You light up the interior of this space.
Thank you,
Well-
Navi. Please light up this place.
As you fly into this chamber, you get a feeling that the light of this flame kind of starts to flicker, as if it's almost dwindling a little bit. As if this space is actually more than just physically dark, but metaphysically dark. And as you fly close to this building, the light that you were casting actually seems to shrink a little bit. Not much, but noticeably. Again, the specific thing about your lantern is that it notices and reacts to metaphysical energy. Or phenomenons, basically. You're not sure what it means, but it reacts.
Howdy.
But yes, you light up the space and they can see now.
Well, a slime friend here has found a thing. We don't know if it's what this thing is. We just
It
want to do
belonged to the museum.
a museum. What you talking about? What's the point of a museum?
Nice.
I don't know.
MIA1 said, I wonder where everyone went.
Yeah, I mean,
Getting
I said I
outside.
wanted to go find you, and then Solace just touches the thing. But yeah, well, Solace, no, I don't remember your name. I'm gonna say Slime. Slime. Let's go
You had
find
it
the other
right
one.
the first time.
You did
I
have
know.
it right.
I know. He starts to say Solace, but then he coughs to like hide that he was saying your actual name, and then he just says Slime. Slime. Let's go. And let's go find the other one, and that might be the thing that all that we need
We're
from
finding
here.
the woman? We're looking for the woman?
What you're saying, that I don't know what you're implying.
We're looking for the woman?
Let's go.
Be very,
I
very
said we're
quiet.
looking for
We're
the woman.
looking for women.
I just imitated Neon's voice. We're looking for the woman, right?
Why would you be imitating Neon? You should be imitating Silva.
Alright, sorry. Wrong character, wrong franchise. I mean, wrong session. Where's the woman?
Wrong franchise.
Wrong franchise.
Sparrow
I
and White
imitate Silva.
I mean, it's hard enough to differentiate you guys. Don't go making it more difficult for me.
Where's the woman?
You're a weird one, Slime. Let's head out of here.
Mia,
Okay.
I would like you to act under pressure.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Under pressure.
You've been hit by. You've been shot by.
So you roll plus cool. Which for you is -1. Good.
Oh no.
we just have like -1 stat?
I mean,
no, my
everyone's-
-1 is weird.
Yeah, everyone should have a -1. Yeah, I don't know why you chose to have your -1 stat be weird when you're going to be a magic person.
90% of them had -1
Go
on weird, but this was the only one that gave me basically +1 on everything. So I thought if I'm gonna have -1 weird, I might just have everything else good. I think it's
Me.
supposed to be them starting out weak or something like that, not able to use magic.
Mm-hmm.
Are you there, Mia?
Mia? Oh, she is here. Okay. I need you to roll 1d6 minus
MIA1 said, sorry I was being called, can you repeat last?
I need you to act under pressure, which is plus cool, so 1d6 minus 1. Also, now that Solus, Paimon, and Silva have exited the building, Solus, you have lost your hold. Because you didn't use it on anything.
Oh, right.
Mia got a 4.
A mixed success.
That is mixed success. I think as the sudden darkness has come about, you get up and look around and you don't know where the rest of your compatriots are. You also don't hear them or see them or anything. And you kind of stumble around in the darkness for quite a while. Unless you have a light source. Do you have a light source, Mia? Oh wait, you do have a light source. You have a light source in the form of your ghost. Who I have not come up with a name yet, but I think I want to go with. No, haven't decided yet. But I think you pull out your ghost, and your ghost is like, I will set the light for you. Is that distinguishable at all?
Something about set the light for you.
MIA1 said, no.
Alright, I guess I can't do my robot voice. I guess my robot voice cannot be understood. Which is fine. It's... Your ghost is like, I'll turn on the light for you, whatever. You have a light source. But it does take you guys a while to find each other, unfortunately. Actually, I want to leave it up to you guys. You currently don't know where each other are. What do you guys want to do? Do you want to, try and meet up at the space elevator? Do you want to wander around until you find each other? What do you guys want to do?
I think meeting up at the space elevator is the best call.
But yeah, but how would Mia know that that's what we want to do?
Yeah, exactly.
Fair enough point.
Like, what is the radius of this crater?
Um, 500 miles. Let's see. Probably something like, I think 60 miles. Like, it's pretty big. Let's put it like football field sized. Like not a football field, a football stadium.
And if anything, me and why does it keep happening?
What? What do you mean?
I dropped out again.
No, you
I don't know
didn't.
if anything was said.
You didn't drop out at all.
How did you answer the question if you dropped out?
I was saying things and then it like dropped me and then I came back not too long after. But like if anything, me and Solace could like stay in one place and then since Paimon can fly and he has a light source, he could like use that and hope that he can find Mia that way.
Yeah, send the child in the darkness. Yeah, that'll be fine.
You have a light source.
I'm still
We
a
would be
child
the
going
ones
into
stuck
darkness.
in the dark.
I'm younger than you. The fuck?
You're a slime. You
Look.
don't matter.
Look, we ain't got much oxygen. You want me to pull up my flamethrower and just start shooting it in the sky?
Oh. No!
Wait, do you have a flamethrower?
You
Yeah,
have a flamethrower?
When
That's
did you
one of
get
the-
that?
that's one of the options of weapons. In my head, it was like,
Oh my
when
goodness,
he
really?
left- yeah. I took
I
the
would've.
cold iron sword, the flamethrower, and the magnum. All of the weapon, like when he left the quote unquote private military group that he was a part of before he went to the pirate crew, he just like he was bailing, so he grabbed his main weapons, and then he just tried to find a really good weapon to take, and he ended up with the flamethrower. He couldn't find any of the really good stuff.
Oh
You're
yeah,
right.
sorry you
He
couldn't
just
find
really
something better than a flamethrower.
Well,
He's hoping for a nuke, but they just ran out of them.
Yeah.
He couldn't find it.
look, he wanted like a laser cannon or something. Like,
Flamethrower, I
yeah.
guess this will do.
But I mean, we have no way of even talking to her, so I don't know if our characters would even know that she has a light source. Would we? I don't know. Are either of y'all good at finding people?
I mean, I did apply to be a scout, so
Well, I can only track if I can see, and as you can tell, it's not very easy to see in here or out here right now. So at this point, I'll follow your lead.
I'm just gonna jump on top of Silva's head.
Zero, I have a question.
Yes.
This is more of a thing. It's fine if I don't, but since I'm a
MIA1
Ow.
said, can I fire my gun for them to hear how far they are?
Sure. What was your question, Silva?
I said I'm just gonna jump on Silva's head.
No, what was Silva
No.
saying?
No, Paimon
Oh,
was the
Silver.
one asking a question.
me.
Oh. I thought... Okay.
This is just a question. Since I'm an owl, do I have night vision? If not, that's fine. It's just like a random thought.
I would, again, night vision kind of requires you to have some sort of light, and I think that there's absolutely nothing. There's no light pollution from any sort of nearby settlements. There's no stars either. It's just complete dark out here.
So the only real light is that gunshot and my lamp.
Yep. But you guys do hear a gunshot in the distance.
Ah,
We may need to move quick. Lead the way, bird.
Yeah. Yeah, hearing
It's going to be
gunshots is
vicious.
not necessarily good. Do you guys want to move towards or away from the sound of fighting?
Well, we're assuming that we're the only things on the planet, and our friend, well, our ally, is what I'll say, might be in danger. So Silva's on the motive. If there's an enemy here, we need to deal with it.
Okay. I would like someone to roll plus sharp to see if they can determine where the gunfire came from.
I got it.
Are you sure? I have high sharp.
So do I.
Does somebody want
I
to
lied.
help out? Okay. What'd you
I
get?
lied. I have 0 and sharp.
Why is that?
I heard you say something about help out. I'll
Yeah.
roll for that.
All right, roll to see if you can help out.
Five.
Okay. How are you helping out?
I mean, I have
You just like lift them
He got
up.
his shoulders.
Like that's a valid
I-
thing, but I want you to explain how you are helping out. Even if it's just like I put them up on my shoulders and we stay together as a group. Like if you just want to carry everyone, that is helping out. Because then they
Yeah.
only have to focus on listening, you know?
Solace is already on my head, so I'll just like hold Paimon up as well and just like be sprinting.
Okay, yeah.
Right,
You
quote
do
unquote
it.
now.
And you do a good job. It's a complete success.
Alright, so I do 1d6.
Yes. Everything is using D6s.
Gotcha. I got a 6.
Okay. You get to roll 2 dice because Silva helped you out. So that is 1 complete success.
And
Alright.
I got a 7.
That is an overwhelming success. So I think I will give you a choice here because you only needed 1 success, but I could either give you 1 hold or you could ask a question.
I would like 1.
Okay. You begin moving in the direction where you heard, I believe, the single gunshot. Like, I don't think it sounded like, Mia was fighting something. But with Paimon's light and Silva, carrying everyone and just generally moving in that direction, you guys, remember which direction that you're going, despite having to take some twists and turns through these, non-uniform pathways. You continue to generally remember the direction where you need to be going until you eventually see a silhouette in the distance that seems to be holding some sort of ranged firearm and has a general glow about her because of the robotic nature of their body. But yeah. How do you guys approach?
Are we sure this isn't a fake?
Desolate. I want to approach like kind of quietly, trying to get as like close as like try to get close, figure out who that might be. I don't have a clue what would be stealth.
No, you can just sort of move closer.
What
Mia,
would
in
make
the
sense?
distance, you do see a sort of ghostly light drawing closer to you.
MIA1 said, I identify yourself or I will fire.
All right, you guys, you think that's her?
Glow. Gargle, glow.
Sparkling on.
I'm not a
Don't
bad
make that
slime
sound when you're on my. No,
I'm not a bad
stop.
slime slip.
No, stop. I love the anime, but no. Don't make those sounds on top of my head, slime. That's rude.
Gargle.
Is that you, Mia?
I really hope she goes no and shoots one of us.
MIA1 said, oh just you idiots, I could have blown your heads off.
I don't have it.
He do got a point. Or actually, he doesn't.
Where were you three?
At some sort of church thing.
We took a statue from there.
You took a statue.
You were
Let's be
with
clear on that.
me anyways.
I was with you, but if there's some sort of curse applied to it, it was you. All of you.
In regards to him with the cookies.
Look at the fourth wall. Just kidding though.
I mean, you did get a mixed success, so.
State you said.
State? What state? It's a statue.
Uh-oh. I was wondering what you meant by state.
She deleted it.
We sold it.
What you say?
State? But yeah, I'll just start carrying the other two closer.
Have you guys seen
Statue you said.
Statue, yeah. The whole from the poorly translated video game is like everything you know is gone. Earth has been deleted. All your base are belong to us. What you say?
All your base are belong to us. I love that meme. It is a good meme.
All you base are belong to us is such an old meme, but I always think of like the guy that responds to the alien, because the alien is like hacked everyone's TVs and is like, we are under control, everything you have is ours, and then it cuts to the guy that's like, what you say? And that's more memorable to me than the all your base are belong to us.
I just love bad translations.
Yeah.
People die if they are killed.
I'm going to kill you and then kill you again.
But yes,
I'm gonna kill you until you're dead today.
With Paimon in hand and Solus on head, I approach Mia.
Okay.
He wants it right too.
Mia, you watch as a humanoid person totem pole approaches you with like a slime and owl head is slowly glowing. Again, you can really only make out the silhouette as this ghostly light floats towards you. You hear their voices. They must have been amalgamized together.
Gargle, gargle,
Amalgamation.
gargle.
Your soul is sloshing. Okay, calm down, Chewbacca.
I didn't think you could get any more annoying, but you did it. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Oh, shut up now.
Please.
MIA1 said, "Hold it right there."
I just put Paimon on the ground.
Yeah,
It
fuck
ripped
you
its
too, I
head
guess.
off.
It's fine, I didn't want to be carried anyways.
But yeah, what would you guys like to do?
How can I know you are my team and not imposters?
Fair question.
So by you asking that, you realize that we can also ask that about you, right?
You keep a porno magazine on.
Solus, prove you're the real Solus by turning into somebody.
The four of us don't know enough about each other to prove that the other is actually who they say they are.
Technically, Solus is never who he says he is.
That's very much true. I turned into Silva.
While on my head?
I jump off.
Is he the same weight
Who has
when he
the
turns
gun
into
here?
something?
I will ask the questions.
Silva has a gun too.
Yeah. There's three of us and one of you.
I also have a gun. Hurry, Solus, turn into a gun.
Huh?
Turn into a gun, hurry!
Yeah, Solus turned into a gun.
I turned into a gun, apparently.
What guns are you
How do I
turning
know?
into?
I'll turn to Mia's gun.
How do I
Okay.
know you both aren't real?
So as you're turning into things, what happens to the statue?
While he falls out of me.
I mean, how about you, hold on. Where's your character sheet? Because turning into something does require a roll. Oh, let's see. It's so small. It's so small I can't read it. Gosh dang it. Oh, I have to open browser. Alright, let's see. How about you just roll plus weird?
All right.
Because it doesn't look like you have an ability for it.
Yeah, you weirdo. Roll plus weird.
He is pretty weird.
Got a 5.
Alright, yeah. You turn into a gun. That is a complete success, so I think because you do change shape, you are unable to hold on to the statue anymore. So what do you do with it when you turn into a gun? or make yourself look like a gun. Or take on the appearance of a gun.
I would have thought I would set it down.
I mean, you did say you jump off, so maybe it's just on the ground.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you set it on the ground and then you turn into a gun, and I think you're just also just on the ground as a gun, because you can't stand up.
I thought Pomni was holding
Yeah, I
me.
go pick up him. Hold on,
It's a
I swear I
three-way
dropped my
stand.
real gun.
I mean, it's not a three-way Mexican standoff because like So's just standing here all calm about it because he doesn't feel threatened.
Exactly. I don't understand these things.
They don't know you're not a real gun.
it's it's not that. It's more based on when the plasma thing happened. Other than Solus, all of y'all mostly were searching crates.
I would like everyone to roll plus sharp. And you can spend your hold on this if you want.
Got a 6. Yay.
Complete success.
Am I sure? I don't think I'll need to. Yeah, like a 7.
Okay.
You said I could use no. Wait, what?
Yes. Wait. No, Freddy, you lost your hold.
Yeah, I lost my hold. Can I use?
Shut up. Stop cheating.
I'd like to use an egg point.
Do you actually want to?
Yes, I got a 2.
Okay.
That's-
So you get a failure and a complete success.
Okay. Okay.
What did Mia get for rolling plus sharp?
Yeah.
There she is.
5.
Alright, so everyone got a success. Except for Freddy, who got a failure in addition to a success. Everyone hears a sound. Paimon hears it the best because they're still up in the air. But there is, off in the distance, a sound. And it's not just like the wind blowing, because there hasn't been any wind. There also hasn't been any rocks falling or any sort of loose rubble that could cause a sound like this. In all intents and purposes, this planet is empty, devoid of life. You should be the only people on here. Should be. And yet you hear a sound off in the distance, ever so slightly. You're not even really sure what it is. You couldn't really pick it up because it was so slight and distant. But the fact that there even was a sound is cause for concern. Paimon, it kind of sounded like a scratch. Or like a scrape.
How far did it sound?
You don't know. It's just ever so slight. It's just at a point when the conversation just sort of died down for a moment before anyone was about to say something. You just heard something and you all turn in the same direction. Freddy, Or should I say solace? When you look back, the statue isn't there.
I was about to ask if I could pick it up.
No, I'm just kidding. It's still there.
Oh, okay.
Or is it? No, it's there.
Oh, no.
I mean, yeah, I go to pick it up and pocket it.
I'd like to start heading in the direction where the scratches are.
Okay.
You're taking me with you?
Yeah, you're
You're
still
on the
my gun. They
ground
don't
as a
know you're
gun.
fake.
I'm not even a real gun. I won't be
They
any
don't
use.
know. I have like a real sword just on right there, but instead I'm carrying this fake gun.
I guess, yeah, they wouldn't know that I wouldn't be able to operate as a real gun, so I guess I'm just tagging along.
Freddy, I think as people like turn, I think someone accidentally kicks you across the ground and you scrape against the floor. So you go ahead and take one harm. I think that's what your failure is.
MIA1 said, lol.
I'm trying not to make all of your failures just be damage. But I don't think this is a point where you would gain experience. I think it's on like a failure as a whole. I think with a failure and a success, you get like a mixed success, which is like you still hear it, but you know.
Okay.
On a complete success, you do the thing you set out to. On a complete failure, you don't do the thing, and in fact, something worse happens. And on a overwhelming success, you do complete the thing and also something else.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I'm on over here taking me to the location.
The unknown.
I don't know. We're going into the unknown.
I whisper I don't need to whisper. It sounded far at least. I don't know if this is a good idea, but you're the light source, so I kind of had to follow.
Well, would you
Yeah.
rather us just sit here and then get murdered, or us go and find it?
You don't have much of a sense of danger, do you?
All I see is danger.
Well, dead set on this sound. I'll follow, and then when you get got, I'll just take the light source and go to the elevator.
MIA1 said, wait, why the kid going first?
Because the
He
kid got
has
the
me
light.
as a gun.
I mean, if you want to go ahead in front of him, you can.
I will say that, well, actually, if you want to, you can describe whatever your flamethrower looks like, but typically, a flamethrower usually has, like, a little light on the end of it. So if you want to, like, you know, lead your corners with the end of your flamethrower, I'll say that you can sort of see where you're going. You won't walk into anything. Same with me as like Ghost. It can like generate just enough light that you don't trip on stuff. It's not a great light source like a lantern, but it's enough light to sort of see where you're going.
I am.
Now look who needs a navigator. How interesting.
I mean, I am gonna stick with following the kid with the lantern because you did say it was kind of hard to breathe in here. So anything that takes up oxygen, I'm just gonna avoid using if I can.
Okay. And by that I meant like the atmosphere is thick. It's like trying to breathe through cloth. It's just sort of labor intensive, so you wouldn't necessarily be jogging in here unless you were training like Goku, you know. Again, the the gravity here is also heavier too. So like if you guys ever want to have like a conversation, you do have to like stop moving and kind of like think about what you're saying. Which, you know, when you're not freaked out or doing anything extraneous, isn't difficult to do, but maybe now that you're freaked out a little bit, your heartbeat is a little bit faster and you're requiring more oxygen to your blood, and it's getting difficult to breathe. But you start heading in the direction where you think you heard the noise. In that general direction, at least. What are you guys doing? Just sort of slowly walking in that direction, looking around.
Yeah, Paimon, what are we doing? You're in the lead.
I'm gonna grab some.
Lie off and leave you in darkness. Don't test me.
I'll be right back. Argue amongst each other.
All I'm saying is, I think we should probably look for it instead of just waiting around doing nothing.
I mean, I wasn't thinking wait around, do nothing. I was thinking we've got the four of us. We go back to the ship, figure out what we can tell, and wait till daylight again.
The whole reason we're here is to find something valuable, and this place is supposed to have zero life here.
Yeah, and we can barely see. If something is living here, it probably has better eyesight than us, especially since it waited for the nighttime to come out.
MIA1 said, yeah, but what if all our information is at night?
Yeah,
Here's the thing. If it's a potential enemy, you don't give it too many advantages. Right now, it has way too many advantages over us if it is an enemy.
if it wanted to attack us, it would have a long time ago.
Not necessarily. It may be some sort of crazed, deranged creature that only attacks if something gets too close.
What do you mean? Freddy's on our team.
Huh? What did you say?
She's calling Solus a deranged creature.
I'm not talking about soulless. I'm talking about whatever that sound was.
And what if it's just a nice old lady trying to offer us cookies?
On a deserted on a deserted dead planet.
Where there's script that looks like it's scrawled by some
MIA1
nutcase.
said, cookies.
Yeah,
No
it's this
cookies.
weird it's this weird sweet sort of thing. Originated from a place called Earth.
What are you guys talking about?
Cookies.
No cookies.
Oh.
No
Really on
cookies.
this planet?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think there's no rock cookies here. That's all
But
that's
what
all
if it's
that
just a
there really
nice-
is here. Other than this
It's a nice
statue.
strawberry
No treat.
grandma.
Treat? No treat. Treat? Oh, no treat. Oh.
We can't say the word treat. Treat, no treat. Treat, no treat. Aw.
Sorry, just Mia saying cookies that just made me think of that.
Mm.
Look, if you want to meet whatever this sound is, fine. We'll go meet it. I'm just gonna say that I'll say I told you so if it turns out bad.
And I'll say I told you so if it turns out to be great and give us more information.
You're both are stupid.
And you're a slime.
And you're a bird.
And you're late for supper. Mwah!
You're gonna be one of you. You're gonna end up being our last meal anyways.
When has a sound in the dark ever been good. You just go investigate, like, oh, I was making cookies.
Well, hold on. Since I am an owl and they're not nocturnal,
MIA1 said,
usually
No
Singular
I'm on
cookie.
top at night.
It's a singular cookie. We have to fight to the death to see
Cookie.
who gets it.
No cookie.
Cookie.
No cookie.
Ah.
I love the Texas Beach Boys. Aw. But I am continuing to push forward, picking up the pace.
Okay. You're just gonna continuously walk in a general direction.
You're right. I should throw soulless.
Would anyone like to use any skill checks or anything to try and look for anything, or? You could just roll plus sharp.
MIA1 said, I like to roll fortunes.
Let's see. Fortunes. Fortunes sect has ancient prophecies of divination techniques. Predict the future once per mystery. You may use them. If you look for what the future holds, roll plus weird. I think this is similar to the precognitive like dreams that the Chosen has. So you would get them before you land on the planet and get some general info or knowledge or whatnot, which we did already roll for, and so you have that info, which is I think your ghost is kind of glitching out, wants to know what's going on. Here, let me think of a voice to give your ghost. This isn't what we planned for when we came to this planet. What's happening now? There's something here. There must be. And it's like shining its light around. Does anyone want to roll plus sharp again?
Oh, got a 4.
4? Okay.
MIA1 said, well, we weren't just sent here to only collect artifacts, we have the option to find out what happened.
I mean, any additional, info or artifacts or anything that you guys can come back with, you will be rewarded for. But, some people don't want to go to that extra effort. Just want to get the totem and leave. And this is the location that you guys were given. You've gotten some sort of statue. Maybe that's the totem. Silva, you kind of get the idea that you've got a gist of what's you're still going in that direction where you think you heard the sound, but you kind of feel like you're lost and turned around at this point, and you're not really sure. But as you're following Paimon and everyone else, because Paimon has the light, you stop for a moment because you think you hear something, but you're not sure if it's just because you were walking or because someone said something. Paimon, as you hush everyone and try to listen, you don't hear anything. You don't hear anything for a long time. And you ever wonder if you really heard anything at all, or if it was just all in your minds, playing tricks on you. But surely there's no way that all of you could have heard something, if not for the... And then you hear something. A soft scratching sound, as if something's sliding against something else. And as you try to focus in on that and get a bearing on that, you hear a sound off behind you. A different sound. And this one sounds like scratching. There's like a slight... And then there's a... Or whatever. I can't do sounds.
MIA1 said, "Solace, I blame you."
Lacey, are you there?
What? I cut out for a bit. What happened?
Paimon, you hear two distinct sounds from different directions. There's more than just
Let's
one
split
thing
up.
making noise. Okay.
No. Well, part of me does kind of want to split up, but we only have one light source. I mean,
We're also a very
Maybe
small group.
I can't wait for next session when the rest of the party comes back and you guys are just dead.
we go exploring the same area just to find our corpses. So I hear two sounds at the same time in two different directions.
Yeah. Not at the same time. You know, they're not like in unison, but you do hear two distinct sounds from different directions.
If Mia and Silva are together, would that make their light source slightly bigger, making it easier for them to move together?
I mean, if you have a reasonable explanation as to why you would have a light source, I will just let you have light. Like maybe you've got your energy gun like primed, so it gives off like a soft glow, like a Pit Boy or something. Like just enough so that you don't trip. Because otherwise you guys are in like pitch black darkness.
If Solus turns into... I guess that wouldn't work.
Yeah, if Solus
He wouldn't be
turns
able
into
to...
a flashlight, why would he generate light?
Yeah, I had to think about that. Alright, then... I would like to head into the direction
I mean, you
of
could
one
punch
of
him
the
and see if
sounds.
he starts glowing. Give it a shot. He's like a glow stick. Just crack him in half.
Just gotta snap him and start shaking. I do want to start heading into one of the directions of the noise, whichever one I heard louder. That came
Okay.
first.
I would say that there was one you heard first. So do you want to go towards that one or the other one?
Actually, I'd want to go to the one that has it second, because if it's the same thing, that means it'd be in that direction now.
It's like far away from you.
Oh, so it's impossible for it.
Yeah, it would be. It's impossible for it to be the exact same thing unless something teleported.
Then I would like to head to the one I heard first.
Okay. Again, you don't think one is closer. It's so imperceptible that you can't tell anything about the noise other than it's like, I heard something, I think, over here.
And this is making me play Marco Polo.
If anything, we could try heading to the edge of where the writings were, and that might, because like it could be the same thing that was doing the writings, and then the reason that they kind of stop at a certain point is because they kind of had to stop working.
Freddy, have you turned back from a gun? Are you still a gun?
Like blocking my lap.
Alice,
Solus.
Nightshade, Salas.
I guess I'll ask him when he gets back.
MIA1 said, I think he making food.
Okay.
That's what I want.
Consider him my gun for now, then.
Even though you have guns, you want to use him?
I don't have guns. I have magic and a sword, but I don't have guns.
Don't you? I thought you... Oh,
No.
alright.
Nah.
You've got a cool...
I mean, I came from a village in Skyrim. They ain't got no space guns. Not going pew pew.
I mean, my gun isn't a pew pew gun; it's a actual just pistol. But you're the one that can hear these things better. So where do you want to go?
MIA1 said, my gun chamber in 45.
Alright. Paimon is going in one direction. What are the rest of you doing?
Same
Yeah, I'm
direction.
gonna be honest, not listening past y'all.
I'm following.
Ain't leaving this random child to just get himself killed.
I mean, I can't really die, but okay.
What?
Because I have the thing.
Do you tell them that?
No. No. I want them to fear. Worry about seeing a child's death in front of their eyes.
Silva's seen plenty of child death, but he's gonna, well, not plenty, but he has seen some. But he's not gonna let someone die if he can help it.
There's plenty
I've
of
seen a
children's
lot.
deaths.
And by that, I mean like a little bit. Like maybe sometimes. Once. Like you really back down from that quick.
I wanted to make, like, I didn't want to, like, he has seen it, but, like,
Realize
not
how
a
wrong
lot.
it sounded.
Like, he worked for a private military that was not the cleanest of places to work. So,
Okay. So everyone's following Paimon again?
yep.
Alright.
Follow the
He
leader.
has the good ears.
Paimon leads you through these twisting corridors once again. You look
Before
around.
walking, I would like to mark with my sword, like, walls or sides, to know
How
that
do
we
you
went
wanna
in
mark
this direction already. Yeah.
How are you marking them? That is like indifferently distinguished from like the other markings. Yudolfdal has
I
to do this pretty quick because you're like always coming upon new things.
I'll do different lines, but they're different sizes. Until it gets too big, then I do a second one, and keep repeating the process.
Okay, and
That's
you're
like a
just
half
doing this
line.
ever so often.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea how this is helping. Like, this makes no sense.
Well, it's better than to find out, oh, we were going through a circle the whole time.
But see, here's the thing, is that, like, you are twisting around, and if you come back and cross, even if you do see one of your lines, like, oh, we've been here, I guess, but you don't know from where and which direction at all. You're just doing a random mark on a random part of a wall.
What I really want to do is
I'm
I
not
want
gonna
to try.
make you roll dice for this. I just think this is just a thing that you do, but I don't think it's gonna help you.
Well, the main thing I want to do, but I can't because I have the light source for everyone, is I want to like fly in the direction of the noise, since that would probably be faster. But at the same time, I'd be leaving everybody without a light source, and then I'd also be in trouble if it turns out to be something.
You do what you're gonna do.
Does anyone have any better ideas besides just going home?
I mean, we can't see, so if we're getting turned around, that, like, leaving markings isn't really going to do much, because, like, if we keep going in the direction that we thought that we heard the sound, and we're not getting there, we already know something's wrong, because, like, this place has a limited size. Like, if anything, if we keep going in a direction and we never reach an exit, like, you could just go straight up and, like, see what you see and then come back down, if anything. It's like, yes,
No.
you are the light source, but you can go up and then come back down.
You know what? You make a fine idea, partner.
And then when you go up and we're in the darkness, and then you come back down, we're no longer there.
I see the two small, faint lights going in different directions. Alright. Give me a second.
One.
Give me multiples of one.
One, 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 one,
Yeah, I
one.
mean, you time.
Alright, that should give him stall till infinity. Alright. I want to see if I had like a skill or something. Possibly. But I can't see anything.
Well, you guys tell me what you're doing.
I'd like to fly in the air
Mm-hmm.
and see if I could see anything. Or hear any noises as well.
Do you take the light source with you?
Yep.
Okay, so you leave everyone in complete darkness. Does everyone stop moving?
I mean, yeah, if he's going to go up, we stop moving and
Okay.
wait for him to come back down.
You fly all the way up, out above the tops of the ground. And how high up do you go?
I want to go about 30 feet. Just so I'm above most of the buildings.
Okay. Yeah, I think you just do that.
Wait.
What do you do now that you're up above?
I'd like to start looking for any markings. I mean, that any scratches nearby.
I think because
Or
you're so far up, your light source like doesn't really hit anything. So you have to like,
How
come
far
back
out?
down.
How far does his light source seem like it reaches out?
I think like 20 feet at best. I think it just barely touches at like 30 feet. So I think at like 30 feet you can barely see the ground, but it's like just barely perceptible. But you're also flapping, which is making it hard to hear anything.
I mean, Paimon, do you see any other sources of light when you get up that high?
No.
Because that would be the main thing, as opposed to the sounds.
definitely not.
You would be able to see like the space elevator, which I think is still down, unless you guys sent it back up. So you would know how to, like, which direction to get out of here if you wanted to. Which is good info, you know? It's a good thing that we've got a flying character on our team.
We would always have a flying character on our team. Wait, no. I don't think Solus would actually be able to fly.
No, he can only look like a bird. Depends on how well he transforms, I suppose. you guys doing?
Sorry.
Hmm?
I'd like to fly back down.
Alright. Your friends are right
And I want to think we just head back at this point. If we haven't found anything already, it just keeps putting us in a goose chase.
Yeah, as I have said, I think it's for the best. We're not literally flying blind, but basically there. We do not have enough resources to properly do any kind of investigation. The fact that we're hearing these noises, sure, they may not believe us. They may think that we're hearing things. But they may send people who would be more prepared to figure that out. I know you want to figure this out. But some jobs are the kind that you can't do.
I don't want to leave this. It's a barren land with something in it.
All right. What is your plan then? How are you going to find it when we can barely see anything?
You could just
Why
wait until
couldn't
it's
we-
daytime again.
But it's going to be super hot.
What?
What if it's nocturnal?
I mean, that's a possibility, but as I said, we are not equipped for this. We cannot see. If it is nocturnal, it has a better chance of seeing than we do. And if it's skittish, it would not want to approach us. If it's dangerous, we would not want to approach it. What was that?
With whatever you guys decide.
What do you think, Mia? Should we stay? Should we go?
Should I stay or should I go?
MIA1 said, I say in our current situation we should go.
And I guess Solace is asleep in gun form, so his vote is going to be go. Unless he wakes up.
Maybe
Come on,
he fell
Paimon.
asleep. Yeah.
With any luck, Paimon, we'll run into whatever it is on the way.
That's optimist thinking.
Yeah. I'm not saying if it's good or bad luck if we run into a thing.
Before we do, I'd like to try one more thing.
Are you going to call out to it?
Well, no. I was thinking using Destiny's Plaything.
What is Destiny's Plaything?
I believe it's that one. Give me a second to check.
Oh, your character sheet's not in here.
Yeah, I have to go back.
You should pin it or something.
Noted. I will make sure to. After I do this real quick. Gotta be a skill for something.
Destiny's Plaything.
Like
At the beginning of each mystery. Again, this is the one thing that we do at the beginning of the mystery. You can't just like continuously keep. trying to
Okay.
use this.
Yeah, it's fair.
Yeah. Again,
Hold on.
if you want to keep asking for divine intervention on every little thing, that's not how it's supposed to work.
Well, it is a little confusing. I do want to do. Let's see. would like to use investigate a mystery.
All right. Roll to investigate a mystery.
With what? Oh, is that just a straight D6?
Yeah, it's a straight D6 plus sharp.
Oh, okay. I'd like to use inspiration.
Do you have an inspiration?
Yes.
Okay, then you can re-roll.
I knew my rolls were getting too good. There we go.
All right, that is an overwhelming success. So you get to ask 3 questions. What happened here? What sort of creature is it? What can it do? What can hurt it? Where did it go? What was it going to do? And what is being concealed here? Or, if you don't like those questions, you can ask something else.
Alright, I'd love to start with what is concealed here.
You look around, and you are in the light of Paimon's lamp, and you can see the stuff that is around you. The walls. You can't even really see the tops of the plateaus above you. You can see the ground. You can see your friends nearby. You don't see any of these buildings. You don't see the markings. In fact, when you're, just standing here, it's almost easy to forget about the markings, the ancient script, this alien text that is written around, and you can almost just kind of think about it as just, this is a wall, For what is being concealed here, there is a lot, and there is also very little. There is nothing else on this planet other than you guys. But something is going on. You've got 2 more questions.
One of them was where did it go, right?
Yeah. Or you can just ask a question. It doesn't have to be one of these.
I know, it just makes it easier for me to ask the question, though. I would like to ask, where did it go?
Where did what go?
The thing causing the noise.
You guys have been wandering around looking for the source of the noise, assuming that it's a creature, like it's an entity, it's some force that's happening. But as you're wandering around, there's no further sounds to indicate that there's something out there, something moving. Where did it go? It never left. Because it's still happening. You've got one more question.
What did it do?
You are standing there, thinking about, pondering, trying to understand what's going on. And you look at the wall. You look at the spot that you marked. And you recognize that you've been here. And, you know, it's one of the shorter ones. Because this is probably one of the ones that you've passed a while back. And you've managed to circle around somehow. Just sort of getting lost in here. But this is one of the older ones because it's so short. And you try to figure out where your next mark is. And it takes you a while to find it, but eventually you do. You do find your mark. It's just a single line. You haven't gone to 2 lines yet, but it's just longer, as you've stated. But it's hard to find because one of those lines crosses over it. Another mark has appeared. Another piece of this text has been started to be written. Another scratch. Another scratch has formed. Did you guys hear that? Hello?
Yeah, but
Are you guys still there?
yeah, I was
Yeah.
very confused for a moment there because it suddenly played the soundboard sound for when you joined a call.
Yeah. But you heard everything I said?
Yeah.
Okay. That's why I was specifically being vague, because another piece of the text has started to be scratched in. And if you pay attention, and you guys are just silent, not doing anything, not talking, just listening, you can hear more scratches off in the distance. More lines are being carved. That's the reason why that's the reason why you haven't been able to necessarily find the source of the sound, because you've been looking for someone or something that you've never really noticed if any more of these scratches have formed.
Yes, I finally asked the group this, but you guys, and then I pull out the statue. Y'all think any chance that this is the source?
Probably.
I don't know too much about. I'm not very good at piecing apart other tech from things that I haven't. I need to kind of be taught tech before I know it. Anyone want to take a look at this thing, see if they can figure out if there's something up with this?
I'm not the best with tech, but I don't see how it could hurt.
You want to roll
Let's
to
care.
use magic?
Yeah, out of character, I was implying plus weird rather than plus sharp.
I know, but
His plus weird is the worst out of all y'all.
it is the worst.
I am also a -1.
But hold on, I actually need to do this. I need to fail. Let me fail, please.
How many experience do you
yeah.
have?
4. I need one more.
Oh, nice.
I've
Hey,
been
I'm at 3. Let me have.
No.
I know that Rex would not try to figure this out because he doesn't think that he would be able to anyway.
I have literally one of my things is made for magic. I'm just so bad at weird that it doesn't matter.
Am I the only one who has +2 in weird?
That doesn't mean I also have +2 in weird, or just +1. I don't remember. I think they had a plus something in weird.
Don't metagame. Just think about what you're gonna do.
I'm going to try it.
Success.
Try and mess with it.
I
Ah,
hand
damn
over
it!
to Paimon.
Oh wait, no. That would be a 4 then. Even when I fail, I can't fail.
Who's doing what?
Paimon got a 4.
Yeah, I got a 4.
Okay, so a mixed success. What are you doing to look at this this artifact? You do get to ask one question, but something's gonna happen.
I'm bringing it up to my lamp, trying to see if I could understand any of the marking at all.
There are no markings on the statue. But as you try to hold the lamp up to the statue, it's almost as if it's like repelled by it. Like you physically have to hold it. And the light begins to grow dimmer and dimmer and dimmer. And then it snuffs out. And then you start to hear more scratching sounds. And the light comes back on, but for a moment, there was real concern there.
Not too much concern, because could just use the flamethrower to put the lamp back on.
It wouldn't work like that.
Yeah,
Oh,
your
is it like one of
thing is
those?
not a norm. Your thing is not a normal fire.
Damn me and these weird ass artifacts.
I guess we'll just have to see if we can even get this out of here, and then the art people will analyze it because we ain't got no analyzing thing on the reburn.
I don't think we should take it from here.
I mean, it's our
I don't think we
job.
should go empty-handed.
I don't know if this is what we're looking for. Obviously, it's causing. It's connected in here in general. Who knows what'll happen if we leave with it?
Hmm. It was just sitting there, and that's where the main concentration of the markings were.
MIA1 said, "Do we have a choice? We took this job except to bring something back."
What if it's something else that we're supposed to look for?
I mean, this very much is definitely a artifact.
Yeah, your only job is basically to get any sort of sign of like whatever this culture was to help represent it in a museum. And this is basically the only thing that's left. I mean, there wasn't really a culture here to begin with.
Look,
I
Paimon,
want it like leave and then sands of time. Tired.
what? I heard Sands of Time.
I don't want to like leave with the artifact just for everything to turn into dust after.
Well, everything turns into dust eventually, and if this is the thing making the scratchings, it's good. Like,
Or do you think this is what's saving it from turning it into scratchings?
Alright, what do y'all think we should do?
Hmm.
You want to go with the artifact? I don't. What do you both want?
I mean, you don't have a time limit on this, so you could just, you know, just go back to the ship for now. Wait until daylight.
What's your thoughts, Solace?
Leaving and coming back if we leave the artifact.
Are you gonna
Look.
leave the artifact in a random spot, or are you gonna put it back in the church?
Hey, if we leave it in a random spot, it's probably going to end up back at the church anyway.
That's what you think.
Yeah,
No, it is what you think.
I know.
Freddy, you there?
Yeah, I'm just. Did y'all not hear what I said?
No.
No. I
I
heard
said
you
technically
unclick
we're
your
not
mic.
going empty-handed since we still got the writing that I stamped down.
Well, your main
Wait.
job was to find a totem.
Uh, I say take it, honestly.
The basic information that you have is that the surveyors came here, saw that there wasn't really anything of importance, and the chroniclers came, notated what they could, and they basically said, well, the only thing of value here is a totem, and when you guys got here, there's all these scratchings. You think that would have been in the report, but who knows?
And then what do you think, Mia?
Do we know how many people got sent here before as well?
What do you mean got sent here?
Like, I'm guessing they must have tried to send more people to recover artifacts from here.
No, you're the first reclaimers.
Oh, we're the first.
Yes. They send 3 teams. They send surveyors that usually just like scan the planet and don't even really like go down there usually. But if it's like, they have to explore subterranean tunnels or something or whatever, like any actual like locations. So this would probably be a location where they send surveyors looking around. And then they send chroniclers to actually like notate any information, do documents, actually like write up reports and whatnot.
So what do you think, Mia?
The last vote.
MIA1 said, I say let's get out of here while we have the chance.
With or without the totem?
with.
Alright, let's just go then.
All right. You guys, with Paimon's knowledge of where the space elevator is, begin to slowly but surely make your way through the narrow passages. Ever so often, hearing those scratching sounds in the background. You make your way over and up onto the plateau, trudging over towards the space elevator, and you all load up with your new treasure in tow. The doors close, and it begins to rock, unshifting itself from the soil before slowly rising up and reconnecting with the main body of the Reburn. Okay.
Alrighty.
All right, now everybody make sure to keep checking around on the ship. Make sure that none of those etchings start appearing on it. Don't want any hull integrity damage on the trip home. Not much we can do
Leaving
about
right now,
it.
are we?
I don't know.
I
mean, we can
thought we were
stay
gonna
the
wait
night.
it. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
gonna stay tonight because I want to check
I mean,
again.
but that's also what I'm saying. Like, keep an eye out and like double
Oh,
check
you're
the
just saying
ship,
in
make
general.
sure. Yeah, because if
Okay.
this is the source, there's a chance it'll do it to the ship. But once the night passes, we can. Like, how high up in the atmosphere are we? Like, are we still? We're in full space, right?
Yeah, full space.
How how big is how visible is the crater from space?
Like you could probably make it out. It basically looks like a freckle on the planet. I mean, this
Okay.
planet is pretty small, so like you could pretty easily make it out. Not like it's distinct from any of the others, but
I was more or less wondering, like, if when we woke up, if we looked at it, if it was like a black hole all of a sudden, like not a black hole, but like a pit. I don't know. Even when I was asking, we would pretty much have to go back down anyway to check. But yeah, we have no scanning equipment on this vessel. So I guess where do we want to put this statue totem for now?
there are like little, basically, they're like storage lockers that you could put in.
Told you so. If it turns out it isn't there anymore.
I mean, if it isn't there anymore, then we have something we can tell the people at ARC. It's not retrievable. Or you talk about the crater.
Here.
I didn't hear what you said.
The crater. Like if the crater isn't there.
I mean, I doubt the people are coming back to their homes. This planet's kind of a barren wasteland.
That's what makes it so interesting, though. It used to have life. What happened?
I mean, unless someone can find one of the people that lived here, they can't really know too much about the ecosystem. There's
What
not
if
a
it
lot of
wasn't
signs.
people that lived here? What if it was something else? Something inside there?
Either way, they're gone now. As I've said many times, it's not our job. We're not qualified to do it either. Leave the tasks to the people who are built for it, or studied for it, as this one would be. Unless you're a... Is it anthropologist? No. That's not... I don't know if that's the word I'm looking for. But,
This is even funnier since Silva was the only one who... Surveyor.
was the only one who what?
Didn't you want to be a surveyor? You're like the only one that chose surveyor.
I never made a vote.
Oh,
I-
right,
I
you were too
actually- I
late.
purposely didn't make a vote. I was letting everybody else choose because Silva really didn't care. A job's a job.
I know there was one person who said they wanted to be a surveyor, while everyone else just went no.
I remember that too, but I don't exactly remember who it was. But we'll put the thing in a storage locker for now. In the morning, we'll check the ship to make sure there's no damages. We'll check to see if the statue's still there, and then we'll go down and see if the crater is still a crater. Or if it's a bigger hole.
Okay. What do you guys want to do?
I mean, we ain't got anything to scan this thing with, so Silva's just probably gonna go to sleep.
Okay. I think we'll end the session here. How does that sound? Unless anyone else has any final things that they want to do.
Thought Mia was typing, but I don't know if they stopped. Or if it was just a thing that popped up.
I have such a bad feeling about it.
I mean,
Very funny.
there's a good chance something bad will happen, but
MIA1 said, "Oh no, sometimes I just accidentally forgot I'm texting."
oh, gotcha.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead
Yeah.
and end it here then.